Hello everyone. So in this tutorial we'll go through some of the basics around QGIS using superficial geology data that you would for your term project. Okay. So this is one GIS tool that you can use. It's freely available, so you can download it for free online. But of course you can use another GIS if you're already familiar with ArcGIS, for example. Of course this is a very powerful GIS and you can use that as well, or other GIS. But there are some functionalities that are quite interesting with some GIS that others might not have. So just make sure that your GIS is good enough for the job. So anyway, so I'm going to go through this because I think it's useful to know how to operate, QGIS a little bit. I'm not an expert, but I know enough about it to be able to go about and do what I need to do. Okay, and so I can show you enough so that you can take it from there and then work on it, use it for your term project. So now in order for you to follow along in this tutorial, you'll have to, well, first of all, you have to install the QGIS software on your computer, but then we also have to use superficial geology data, and it's better, easier if we're all using the same for this tutorial. Okay, so this will be different than your term project data, but it will probably have a lot of similarities as well. Okay, so for that you have to go to GeoScan, which is the search engine for geoscience publications at Natural Resources Canada. So okay, so in the search bar, just type RISE map, and then the first choice should be Superficial Geology Lac Quebec. So you can click on this or directly on downloads. This will take you to a summary page, and you can download the content of this, which will contain all of the needed GIS files for this tutorial. Okay. So once you've downloaded and unzipped the file, this is what you should see. Okay, so there's the map. You can take a look at it. That's the map in PDF. Okay, so that's what it looks like. There's a lot of information here, but this is the superficial map in PDF. Okay, so of course these are all the superficial units, and in pink you've got bedrock. So there's a lot of bedrock outcrop in this on this map sheet, but there's also quaternary sediments, landforms, striation data, all kinds of things associated to this map. Okay, and everything is georeferenced and available in GIS format. So you go here in data, and you'll see there's a geodatabase. There's all the shape files are here. So you scroll down, you've got all of the base maps you see. So there's a lot of things that are available here already, so that you don't need to go and download the water bodies, the hydro. There are no roads up there, but there's a lot of information that's already available, and then all the shapefile layers of the map. Now we'll get to the details of that in a moment. So this is where the data is. And then these tile fonts, that's for ArcGIS. So if you're using ArcGIS, then it's probably better to open this map project here, and then everything is linked to this. It's very easy. So I won't give a tutorial on how to use ArcGIS, but if that's the tool you're using, then the government is setting up their file and everything with ArcGIS, so it's even easier. But if you don't, then QGIS is the best alternative, as you'll see. Then there's some information. There's a lot of information about map projections and scale and all of these things. So you can look at the README file. You can look at this info file here. So it gives you all the information about this map. So it gives you okay, so it's in NAT 83, zone 20, so that's going to be useful. So this is one thing where whatever, regardless of what you're downloading, these are some of the basic informations that basic information that you need to know. And then you've got the bounding coordinates. So that's very useful if you want to download a hill shade model from the other government site that I mentioned. There's another tutorial for that, but these are the bounding coordinates. If you want to download the elevation model, if you want to download the hill shade model, so you can use that box. But you also have a shapefile of the outline of this, so you can use the shapefile as well, as you saw in that other tutorial. So it's whatever you prefer to use. You can enter these coordinates or use the shapefile and download the hill shade, because I don't think there's a hill shade model available. There's like contours and other topographic information, but there's no hill shade, I think, on there. So this is what the data looks like. Okay, so that's what we're going to use for this tutorial. So then the next thing you want to do is you want to open a new project. And so the first thing you've got to do is check here that what is the projection, the default projection for a new project. And it's better to change this before you open the project, okay? And so you want to change it to the coordinate system of your map product that you downloaded. So that's why it's good to go and look at the information that's provided with your data. And then we saw that it's NAT83 zone 20, so it's UTM. So you click here down at the bottom, and these are all the coordinate systems, that some of the ones that I've used recently. So then you click on this one, NAT83 UTM zone 20, and so it shows you, okay, so it's somewhere in northern Quebec, Labrador. And so you click here, and then you click apply or OK, and then now you see that the projection for the new project is set to NAT83 UTM zone 20. So then you can click and you open your new project, and then you should see here the correct coordinate system. And then after that, you have to go and find your data. So this is the directory, of your computer. So things will be different, but then you just have to go and find where you put your map product. So that's the next step.